There are two things that have consumed my life as of late. Iceberg videos, and the gacha game, Umamusume Mini Derby. So much so that I decided to merge the two into a bit of a project. Inspired by Segwin's massive YouTube Iceberg series and Big Fan Productions' Umamusume Iceberg Chart video, I have compiled this massive Umamusume Iceberg Chart, and as its creator, I shall be explaining it all to you in due time. But first, I want to cover the basics of what an iceberg chart is. Have you ever heard the expression tip of the iceberg before? It's basically that to a logical extreme, where the tip of the iceberg is used to represent well-known things about a certain topic, and the deeper you go, the more obscure it gets. However, while that rule applies to this iceberg, I've also made most of the layers on this iceberg fit into a broader category. Now that that's out of the way, let me give you a brief rundown about Umamusume Pretty Derby for those of you who don't know about it. Umamusume Pretty Derby is a media franchise created by Cygames in 2021. It features anthropomorphized versions of famous Japanese racehorses who compete in races inspired by their real-world careers, mixed in with a bit of idol culture by having them sing concerts after their races. It includes video games, anime, manga, and many other things that we'll eventually get to. But for now, let's get started. This video will go over the first two layers, spoilers ahead, and timestamps in the description. Here we go. This layer will cover basic information that most people should already know. Based on real JRA horses. Like I said before, this series is about characters based on Japanese racehorses, both old and new, such as Special Week and Goldship. Matikanetannhauser, better known as Mambo, is a character that is heavily used to memes due to her cute design and the funny noises she makes. Horses, like the actual animal, just don't exist in the world of Umamusume, with all instances of horses being replaced with Umamusume. Though it does bring up the question whether similar animals, such as zebras and donkeys, exist in this world. Cygames, founded May 9th, 2011, is the company that created Umamusume and is a subsidiary of CyberAgent. JP vs Global. There are many differences between the different servers of Umamusume, with the oldest and most up-to-date being the Japanese server with a brand new ramen-focused scenario, and the newest and least up-to-date server being the global server with the Our Grand Concert being the newest scenario at the time of making this video. Ballin by Mustard. This is a song I'm sure most of you are familiar with due to the Anime Studios memes. But one of the first instances of it being popularized here in the West is a version of Tokai Teo singing it. "2016 PV. In 2016, Cygames showed its first glimpse of what would become Umamusume, with some of the characters looking pretty much the same as they do now, and some not even looking recognizable. Hachimi can refer to two things. The first one being the scene where Tokai Teo is singing about Hachime, or Honey Aid. The second refers to Teo herself, or at least a chibi version of her that's heavily used in memes as well. BAKUSHIN, BAKUSHIN, BAKUSHIN. This is the song of the character Sakura BAKUSHIN O. It is well known for its chilly nature and how often it is requested by her on the endgame jukebox. Rewritten History. To keep some aspects of the real-life horses' lives PG, the history of the Umamusume world is different from ours, though it seems mostly the same. For example, Agnes Tachyon in real life had to retire early due to his injury, but in-game you are able to prevent this and allow her to continue racing. Way. Pretty Derby, Seasons 1 through 3. The main Umamusume anime that focuses on one main character per season, those being Special Week in Season 1, Tokai Teo in Season 2, and Kitasan Black during Season 3. Road to the Top. This is an original net animated series focusing on the characters Narita Top Road and Meyer Vega and TM Opera O. It is free to watch on YouTube. Beginning of a New Era refers to the movie released in 2024, focusing on the character Jungle Pocket, with Agnes Tagian, Manhattan Cafe, and Dansu Flame being important secondary characters. B&W no Chikai, also known as B&W's Promise, is a 3-episode OVA that takes place in between seasons 1 and 2 of Pretty Derby. It centers on Team Seka trying to reunite the trio of B&W back together. B&W is short for Bia Hide, Narita Taishin, and Winning Ticket. No end universe gambling. Unlike the real world, where the sport of horse racing is heavily tied to gambling, there is no evidence to support the notion that people gamble on the result of races in the world of Umamusume. Carats. This is the premium currency that is used in the gacha game, used to scout for both trainees and support cards. Cosplays. Due to its popularity, it is obvious that fans would start to cosplay the various characters from the series at several events, such as conventions and concerts. AI/bootleg knockoffs. As any piece of media that gets popular, it's not surprising to take advantage of the craze that is Umamusume Pretty Derby. The most well-known example of this being Winning Derby, which uses AI-generated assets. 2025 Game of the Year. During the 2025 Game Awards, Umamusume Pretty Derby won Best Mobile Game for that year, beating Persona 5 The Phantom X, Sonic Rumble, Destiny Rising, and Wuthering Waves. And with that, we conclude Layer 1. Now, I see you and I have made it to Layer 2 of this iceberg. This layer will cover basic information you should know about the Japanese horse racing scene. JRA/NAR. JRA stands for Japanese Racing Association, and NAR stands for National Association of Racing. The JRA is a public company that manages racecourses and both betting and horse training facilities. They are also responsible for major races in metropolitan areas. Meanwhile, the NAR is more so in charge of local horse racing events throughout the country. Yutaka Take, probably the most well-known jockey to Umamusume fans. Starting his career in 1987, he became the first jockey to ride 69 winning horses in a single season and was one of the youngest jockeys to win the Kikuka show. He has ridden many horses that have become Umamusume, with the most notable one being Super Creek. Christophe Lemaire, currently ranked as the #1 leading jockey with 5 consecutive years of victory since 2017. He started his career in France in 1999. In 2003, he became the 7th leading jockey of that year and also won the Grand Prix of Paris. Notable horses turned Umamusume that he has ridden include Satano Diamond and Almanai. Kenichi Ikezoe, also known as the Grand Prix man of the Heishi area, this jockey is best known for winning both the Arima and Takarazuka Kinins a total of 7 times. Notable horses turned Umamusume include Current Gen, Lefebvre, and Dream Journey. Hideaki Miyuki, known for his record of 1,000 rides per year and for being the second jockey ever to win the Triple Tiara, his most well-known horse that he rode was Still in Love. Golden Generation. This refers to the generation of horses that were born in 1995 who turned 3 years old in 1998. They are represented by the characters Special Week, Saiyan Sky, El Condor Pasa, King Halo, and Grass Wonder. They were considered some of the fiercest competition that year, but the overlap was another strong generation like the 97 generation that included the likes of Silent Suzuka, Meiji Bright, and Airgroove and Stay Gold, made it some of the more iconic races in JRA history. Sunday Silence. Where to start with this guy? Well, for starters, he's not even a Japanese horse. He was an American racehorse and one of the most iconic Triple Crown winners here in the States. He is best known among Umamusume fans for being one of the leading breeding stallions in Japan, with nearly every horse that's been turned into an Umamusume in the game being related to him one way or another. The Oguri Cap Rule. Oguri Cap is a legendary racehorse worthy of their own dedicated video, but that's another story for a different day. What I want to talk about is the rule the JRA placed after their retirement because of him. In short, Oguri Cap was unable to race in the 1988 season due to their transferring from the NAR to the JRA being so late enough to miss the registration period. Even after mass public outcry, the JRA stood firm on their decision, meaning Oguri Cap was unable to participate in the Triple Crown that year. However, after his retirement, they implemented a rule change, allowing for late registration and permitting foreign-born horses to run in the classics, albeit it was a large fee. Notable horses that were affected by this rule were TM Apero and Kida-san Black. Great Horses Superstition. Prior to horses like Oguri Cap and Tamamo Cross, there was a long-standing superstition that gray horses were not good for racing. Of course, there were gray horses more than capable of winning prior to those two, such as White Fontaine and Mejiro Asama during the 1970s. But seeing as both Tamamo Cross and Oguri Cap were record breakers on top of being gray horses, the notion that gray horses were no good were starting to be challenged. This is referenced in Cinderella Grey by both the characters Norn Ace and Martin Zensky. Graded stakes. This simply refers to the level of competition each major race is held at, G3 races being the lowest ranked, G2 races being the middle ranked, and G1 races being the biggest racing events for that country. Still I Rise. This horse, despite not even winning their debut race or any race as of the making of this video, is notable within the Umamusume community for their family lineage, seeing as their sire is Tanino Franco, son of Vodka, as well as their dam being Scarlet Tail, granddaughter of Daiwa Scarlet. Seeing as Daiwa Scarlet and Vodka were famous for their rivalry, people had very high hopes for this horse. Here's hoping they win a race sooner than later. Lord Kanaloa, the 2013 JRA Japanese Horse of the Year, a specialist in sprint races, winning the Sprinter Stakes, the Hong Kong Sprint, and the Takamatsunomiya Kinen, as well as the mile distance Yasuda Kinen. One of the many horses players request to be added as an Umamusume to the series, but has yet to be seen. King Kamehameha, best known for their 5 wins after debuting at 2 years old, including the Mainichi High, NHK Mile Cup, Tokyo Yushun, and Kobe Shibun High. He was awarded the JRA Award for Best 3-year-old Colt in 2004. However, he retired early from racing due to a tendon injury. While this horse has yet to be seen into a Umamusume, notable offspring that have been turned into Umamusume include Rose Kingdom, Duramente, and the newly released Rulership. Goldchip's Children. Goldchip, the iconic gray horse, is known for his impressive stub record with over 500 offspring known to exist. Some that I know and like include Meisho Tabaru, winner of the 2025 Takarazuka Kinen, and Ice Baby, whose name I just find funny. Racing Silks. These are the clothes given to jockeys to help visually track horses during a race. Each company has a unique design to them. They influence how Cygames design each Umamusume, since the silks are used to design their main racing outfits. TM Apero made betting boring. This iconic horse, also known as the Overlord of Century's End, got that nickname for a good reason. Seeing that in 2000, he went completely undefeated in all his races. Bettors would end up disliking the horse because he made betting predictable that year. And why bother gambling if you already know the results before it even happens? It wouldn't be until the 2001 Autumn Tenno show where he would be defeated in a G1 race by none other than Agnes Digital. Black Tide, son of Sunday Silence and father of Kida-san Black. This horse is better known for his stud career than his racing capabilities, only winning 3 of his 22 starts, including the Fuji TV show Spring Stakes. He is also the brother of the one and only Deep Impact. Speaking of which, is our next entry. Deep Impact. Where to even start with this guy? Perhaps being the first horse to both win the Triple Crown, undefeated, but also to sire a son who went on to do the same. Named by Makoto Kaneko, hoping the name Deep Impact would lead the horse to having a strong impact on many people, this horse is heavily requested to be turned into an Umamusume, but you have yet to see, despite their history as one of Japan's best ever racehorses. Triple Crown / Triple Tiara. Now, I've mentioned the Triple Crown several times already in this video, and some of you may be out of the loop on what that is. It refers to one of many titles a horse can obtain throughout their career. There's the classic Triple Crown, consisting of winning the Satsuki Sho, Tokyo Yushun, and the Kikuka Sho, and the Triple Tiara, consisting of winning the Oka Sho, Yushun Himba, and the Shuka Sho. And lastly, there's also the Dirt Triple Crown, consisting of the Haneda High, Tokyo Derby, and the Japan Dirt Classic. Notably, these races are usually restricted to horses that are only 3 years old, making any horse winning these nothing short but impressive. Senior Triple Crowns, the unofficial name given to another trio of races. There's 2 sets of these. The Spring Senior Triple Crown refers to the Osaka High, Spring Tenno Sho, and the Takarazuka Kinen, while the Autumn Senior Triple Crown consists of the Autumn Tenno Sho, Japan Cup, and the Arima Kinen. Epithets. These are simply the nicknames given to horses throughout their career, or after their career, such as Oguri Cap being called the Idle Horse, Symboli Rudolph being called the Seven Crown Emperor, and Special Week being called the Supreme Ruler of Japan. And with that, we close the first chapter of the series. I would like to thank you all who stayed until the end of the video. This is my first major video project, so I greatly appreciate any viewership towards my channel. Be sure to like the video and to subscribe to stay up to date when the next video comes out. This has been Kogito Ergo Sum, signing out. Take care and await for our next encounter.